Welcome back, everybody, to Midnight Screening, the show where we try and plan the perfect movie night, one film at a time. Today's film is Killer Klowns from Outer Space. I'm your host, Nathan Lang. With me, as always, is Josh K.
Yellow. Don't know why I said it like that, but hi.
What was that?
I don't know. I've just found out a real fun thing about the film we're gonna be talking about. So I got distracted and forgot we started recording. Is the honest answer.
Nice. And joining us in the studio, I'm sure it's a studio now, joining us in the studio this week is our friend Kieva.
Hello, hi. This is fun. This is great. I love this studio, Nathan. It's so spacious.
It's very high tech because it's all on the internet.
Got a coffee machine in the corner that doesn't do coffee. Hot chocolate.
Nope.
That's for Apple.
Yeah, I couldn't. I as I was introducing you there, I was like, should I say your screen name or not? I couldn't tell.
I mean, you can. It's just in case people forget who I am, and I introduce them, and then I see them again, and I'm like, oh no, it's still Kieva, you know.
There we go. Yeah. So
people
I'm
just think you change your name.
Yeah.
You ever just randomly change your name?
Yeah, you ever do that?
Never. No. Been Josh for the last almost 21 years now. So you know.
All right, Joshua.
I like Joshy.
Crap. Shit. Oh.
Only person in the call who doesn't go by their full name.
I thought I went through a bit more. I see what I did wrong there. I accept my failure, and we can move on.
So yeah, we're talking about Killer Klowns from Outer Space this week. This was Kieva's idea.
Oh, really?
So, what wasn't it?
No, you told me you were doing a recording of it because the game was coming out, and I went,
Yeah,
oh.
To be fair, we were going to do this one anyway. We pushed it forward for Kieva, is what I
Sorry,
should
there's
say.
a game coming out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Early 2023. Woo.
What?
Yeah, it's by the guys that did Friday the 13th, right?
Yeah.
Give me 2 seconds here and do a quick Google. What?
There's so much development made. They've got Reddit and everything with just updates.
It looks good.
It looks so good.
You can sign up for a beta.
Oh, I signed up for the beta.
Did you think we picked this movie just for
to
fun?
torture me? Yeah. Sorry, I'm watching the trailer right now. Bear with. You can get live reaction. Already, the graphics of the game are 10 times better than the film. Cool.
But the film was made in the 80s, so that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. He's dancing, and there's chaos going behind him. Classic trope. Yeah, from the same director, Friday the 13th game. There you go. That makes sense.
I must admit, the quality seems to be a bit better than the Friday the 13th game.
So it's probably going to be like a Dead by Daylight kind of thing, but it looks a bit cool. Like that kind of format.
Yeah.
Cool. Sorry, I didn't know that. That was fun information to learn.
Yeah. So that's coming out this year at some point. That's why I had this one on the list. Kieva found out we had this one on the list and was like, well, that's my episode then.
This is my one. Can't do Nightmare Before Christmas, but I'll do this one.
Yeah. Do you remember when you were on the show for Nightmare Before?
I'm still salty at Josh for that. It's all Josh's fault.
This is not my fault, thank you. I refuse to take blame. Refuse.
That was just a nightmare recording anyway. Like,
Boom ting.
A nightmare because the movie name.
Well done.
Good job, Nathan. We're so proud of you.
I'm smart.
Sure you are, buddy. Sure you are.
I'm real.
You're real
smart.
Then let's talk about this absolute disastrous movie from 1988.
Oh, it's all disastrous.
It's a disaster in every way, shape, and form.
It is a disaster movie,
Yeah.
No.
genre-wise.
The film itself is a disaster. I'm not saying like it's a bad. It's somehow become an amazing, one of a kind, beautiful disaster. But it's a disaster.
See, okay, now you've won me back around because I thought you were going in very negatively there, and for everything I know about you, Josh, you should have liked this.
Yes.
This film is just pure ridiculous. It makes no sense. Yeah, I love it.
It's a great
There
movie.
it is.
So good.
Yeah, this is in that perfect pocket for me, and we've talked about it on the show before with another one of Josh's favorites. Josh, what's your favorite movie?
Zombievers.
There you go. Yeah, it's that point of like commitment. It's really stupid, and at no point does it like give up on doing that. You know, was it like an hour and a half of just the one gimmick being pushed to its absolute limit, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. And just when you think they're just going to repeat the same thing, boom, clown car.
Yeah, it's a series of clown gags. Like,
Yeah, just clowns.
It's like you think they're just going to be aliens that are clowns. They're no way like everything else going to be clown. Oh nope, they're turning them into big candy floss bits, and they've got
Yep.
alien popcorn creature things, and they've got a magical clown car, and then Clown Hulk for some reason.
Yeah,
Clownzilla is the official name.
Huh?
Clownzilla is the official name.
Oh, Clownzilla.
Clownzilla.
That's both
Godzilla.
worse and better.
Yeah. Should we just start by? I mean, it's the proper place to start. The clown stuff, I guess.
No, let's start, right at the end of the movie and we'll work our way backwards.
We've done worse. Um,
We have so much worse.
but yeah, this is one of those times. I am presuming most people listening to the show probably haven't seen this film.
Mm.
So should we explain it, or should we get Kieva to explain it?
Oh, by all means.
I'm going to get the honor to explain this movie.
Or at least
Kieva,
try to.
What is this? What is this?
Great. So we start in the 80s, all right? About 1988, okay? And we've got these two lovers, Debbie and Mike, who I always forget his name, Mike Tobacco as well, which is a dumb name for a character. Mike Tobacco. Stupid name. Anyway, so we've got these two, they're on a lover's lane with the rest of the teenagers who are all making out, and it's weird lover lane. Lover's lanes are just weird, okay? The concept is weird. But they're there, they're in a raft, in a car, drinking watered down champagne, having a great time, and this UFO flies overhead. And they're like, what the heck is this? So they decide to go and find it. We find an old man and his dog. They also go to find it because they think it's Halley's Comet, which again is dumb because Halley's Comet had passed above the Earth 2 years previous to this. So stupid old man. Anyway, so they find, so the old man and his dog, they find the tent. There's a tent in the middle of the woods. And they're like, what the heck's going on? Well, the man, not the dog, is like, what the heck's going on? They try and find a ticket book because they love the circus and they can't find it. And you see the shadow of a clown following behind them. To which he then takes like a wee hole appears and he takes the dog, kidnaps the dog, kills the dog. Worst death in the movie. Then the guy gets really upset, he just wants his dog back, and he's killed by a clown. He's found by a clown, killed by the clown. Then Mike and Debbie find it, and they go in, and there's a lot of really random things in there. There's a reactor thing that they find, a fusion reactor, that has nothing to do with the movie. And then they find this big room filled with like cotton candy and balloons and popcorn. And Mike stupidly thinks this is where they make cotton candy, and they hang it up to dry before they ship it out, which is also really dumb.
Also, not how cotton candy works.
Also not how. Yeah, she says nobody stores cotton candy like this. And he goes, sure we do.
You don't
No,
store you make it as you
Have you never seen
swirl it in a big thing. It's just sugar.
Sugar. So they rip a bit off, and there's the old man's face all bloody and blah, blah. And they're like, oh my gosh, what is this? And a clown comes in, so they run and hide. The clown's doing his thing, hanging up cotton candy person, doing his thing with some switches. Mike then sees someone that he knows, and make the noise. So they then had to run out of the tent, and they are chased by some clowns and a little balloon dog. It was very cute. I like the balloon dog. They managed to get away back to town, and the clowns follow into Crystal Cove and go on a massive killing spree, killing everyone in sight. They kill a police officer in the best way possible. They make him a puppet. We also are introduced to Dave. Dave is the other hero of the story. And at first he doesn't believe Debbie and Mike, but he kind of comes around to the idea afterwards. We meet the Terenzi brothers as well, and I don't like them. They're awful characters. Do not like them, and they're just idiots for the rest of the movie. So it's just a big killing spree that happens. They manage to catch Debbie and the clowns and take them back to an amusement park, which they have now moved to. And so our heroes have to go and save Debbie, and they get into a big fight there and kill the big clown called Clown Girl that we talked about. And there's backup that arrives, and they're like, "Hey, like we're here to save the day with you guys," but they've already done it. The clown thing explodes. Because Dave is still in there, and he hits him on the nose, and it's the ship explodes. I'm not doing a very good job of this. The ship explodes, and Dave is okay. It turns out Dave survived, and it's all great. And then they're like, "Oh, I wonder if the clowns are dead. If that's it." They're hit with pies at the end, which makes us assume that the clowns are still alive. Cut the credits, and the best theme song for a movie ever. See.
Quick round of applause for Kieva, everybody.
I should not have done that. I go too rambly. So
You got every detail.
thank you.
So that's the plot. I do want to say your explanation liked one thing, right? I could have sped it up. You can boil this movie down to you've got all that plot at the start. You're right with all the weird spaceship tent thing, right? Then the bit in the middle is the second half of Gremlins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very true.
Then the big clown. Then
Then the big clown.
then there's the big clown. That's when it stops being Gremlins. Which I don't know if I'm making that connection just because we did a Gremlins episode a few weeks ago.
No, it's the same gist. It's
Yeah.
here's some form of plot, but we don't want to actually form a full plot because that sounds like effort and then we'd have to stick to it. So instead, here's the clowns arriving on Earth. Now here's all the clown gimmicks of how the clowns are killing everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, very
Boom, big
similar to
clown.
Gremlins. Yeah, big clown. But yeah, some of those the clown thing, like the clown gimmicky stuff, it's so fun and ridiculous. You talked about Balloon Dog.
Balloon Dog. I love Balloon Dog.
How cool is Balloon Dog?
So Balloon Dog, fun fact for the movie. I know a lot of facts about these movies. They when they were doing it, the balloon kept popping. When they were doing it.
Balloons pop.
Yeah, I know. So they were like, "How are we going to stop this balloon from popping?" Like while we're halfway through, recording a scene, and they decided to coat it in latex, so they protected the balloon. So even more latex in the balloon, and it seemed to work. It
They
doesn't
just
pop.
reinforced it.
Yeah, they reinforced it.
That's great. And yeah, just a really fun concept. It just like every other kind of clown gimmick thing in the movie, not properly explained or anything. It
No.
just happens. He just
Just
stands
happens.
there. He makes a balloon dog, and I'm like, okay, I wonder what he's gonna do with that. And then it's a sniffer dog now.
It just happens, and it appears later on in the movie as well towards the end.
I do use it again, which is great. There's I mean, Josh, you mentioned the clown car gag
Yep.
at the end of it. That's so funny.
So funny.
I get to see it every time.
And it's just, oh look, we've got these two, the security guard just watching. It just, none of the film makes any sense, but it's great.
It's so good. It's so good. Well, my favorite scene in that entire movie is the one with the small clown, where he's riding that little trike, jigsaw
The
style.
biker gang.
Oh, what you gonna do? Push my head off?
He's doing it because he comes around and he's doing the whole Rocky thing, putting his arms up and he's like bada boo, and he's gonna fight him Oh, he's so cute.
It's
That
just,
that seems great. Don't you? First time at least. Did you? Or am I just? Do I feel sympathy too easily? Did you start feeling sorry for that little clown?
Dude, I was like, it's fucking
no,
fight, man.
Yeah,
no, I did
they
not feel sorry for the little clown running around killing people.
but
Oddly enough,
Yeah.
he showed up to this biker gang with his cool little bike, and then they made fun of him, and then they broke his bike.
Yeah.
Um, and he looks so sad. He gets all sad about it.
He does, he cries.
Yeah. And then
And
yeah,
You-
and then he knocks his block off.
he does.
Literally.
yeah, you should not be feeling any sympathy for the clowns.
Not after
Just
he punches the guy's head off.
no,
Yeah,
even
no,
before. Still, probably shouldn't, knowing full well what he's there to do. Probably concerning that you do actually feel that kind of sympathy towards a killer alien clown. Just
Just a
going to
little
tell you
this
the
is
guy.
truth.
Shorty's big day out, okay? This is his first time.
Yeah. He's just a silly little guy.
He is.
Oh, you two are problematic people. Oh, no, you shouldn't feel sympathy.
You didn't. But you do. So
Only for the low one.
I think about one red suck. Like,
One of them's really creepy. What the one that kills the police officer?
oh yeah, the one who tries to entice the little girl at the burger shop. Oh, I hate that scene. It's so creepy.
He is in the two legitimately scary moments in this movie. Like creepy moments, I should say. There's nothing scary in this movie.
It's pretty, but it's definitely like, oh,
Yeah, there's a scene which is creepy now. Creepier in 1988 when like the killer clown thing is starting to be a thing. I'm gonna go something really quickly.
I mean, yeah, Killer Clown, you still had it by this point, you know?
Yeah, this is right after it. Do you
yeah,
wanna know what? Do you wanna know what year the John Wayne Gacy stuff ended? Like
Was that
his
not the
last
80s?
78.
yeah,
Oh,
78.
So very
10
much in
years.
public consciousness. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, he's
it's like
still
10 years
alive at this
after.
point. Like, so yeah, there's a scene. He's standing outside a burger shop. Like it's like a circus themed burger shop, right?
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
I think it's called JoJo's, which they make a lot of reference to in the movie.
That sounds right. I heard that name anyway. Um, yeah, and he's just standing there, and he's like beckoning the child over, and she's like, yeah, she starts like slowly walking to open the door, and then her mum stops her.
Yeah, it's
It's
creepy.
Not
yeah,
because she sees the clown, but because she's not finished her food.
yes,
Yeah. It's called Big Top Burger, that's what it's called.
big top burger.
Big Top
George's
Burger.
is the ice cream, I think.
Yeah, JoJo's is the ice cream.
Because it's
With a
also
trench
clown
burger.
themed.
It is. Everything's clown themed in this movie.
I'm just gonna close the Google search I did for John Wayne Gacy before I scare myself later.
Fair.
I don't want that on my screen.
And the other creepy scene you're thinking of, is it the one where they're in the jail and the two kind of like guys who have been arrested are cocooned? Or are you thinking of him, of Officer Mooney?
Oh, I didn't think about the cocoons actually. That is really creepy as well.
Yeah.
But no, I was thinking of Officer Mini.
No, no,
But
no,
yeah,
no.
when they,
Go ahead, sorry. This is your show.
yeah, when, Dave, his name's Dave, right?
Yeah, his name's
Yeah.
Dave.
Yeah, when when Dave, uh, he's like frantically running around the jails and stuff to try and figure out what's going on. And he sees the two cocoons. He like reveals the face of one guy, and then the other guy's hand just like falls out, and it's like bloody and
Mhm.
that's disgusting. And yeah, immediately into the bit that got me the most, which is yeah, Officer Mooney's made into a ventriloquist dummy.
Yeah, which he kind of made reference to earlier in the movie when
He
Debbie
said,
and Mike and Dave are there.
said they can't make a dummy out of him.
They can't look at them out of me. What happened?
Ting. That's what you
That's
call callback.
that's
Yeah.
great because they do the knock my block off thing immediately. and then the dummy thing is the same joke, just prolonged.
Prolonged.
But that seems great because it, like, first, when he spins around and he's got him on his knee, I laughed. I was like, that's a funny visual. He's manipulated him like that, and then it zooms in, and he's like cut his face
Mm.
to make his mouth do that, and then he like pulls his hand out and shakes it to shake the blood off.
And cups
Yeah,
him.
pretty weird.
That is horrific.
And then there's that like shot of him just lying on the ground, and you're like, oh.
For a movie that's as dumb as this, that's a really grotesque visual.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of deserved it though, right?
He did. He was a bit of a nasty man.
Would you think that killer clowns existed?
Well, it's not that as much. Like, I mean, that bit's fair, but he was like threatening to shoot people straight off the bat, even though they like barely did anything wrong, which is just straight up completely illegal for them. He was wanting to arrest Mike just because like he was friends with the two ice cream brothers, essentially.
Oh yeah.
like this dude should not have been by any means employed by the police or by anyone. I think he should have been arrested.
He just sits there like halfway through the movie, and everyone's phoning in to be like, "There are clowns," and he's just like, "Yeah, the whole town are in on the Terenzi brothers joke."
Yeah, he
What's that?
becomes
And then
convinced that everyone is trying to
Yeah.
prank him.
And he's like, "What, Dave? You were trained at an actual police academy? Pfft, what a douche!" Is essentially what he said.
He did, yeah.
You got trained
Just
in
now.
the law, in how to conduct yourself
Imagine
properly when
that.
being a
Job
cop.
leader.
Gross.
Oh, the guy's just he had it coming.
Yeah. Oh, for a PG movie, or not PG? No, it's a 12, isn't it?
No way.
What,
No, it's
what's the rating
15.
for this
It's a
movie again?
15.
It's
It's
a
a
15.
15.
Well,
I
like,
think
because then
this is another situation where, like with Gremlins, it was probably rated a lot lower at the time.
probably, but like for the rating, they could only use like what the F bomb. They can only really use that like once in that movie.
Mhm.
Yeah, and they did spend it on the best actor.
Oh yes.
Yeah, they used the best person for that. It is a 12.
It's 15.
I just googled it. It said a 12. I might be wrong. Yeah, it's Google after all. Don't believe everything on the internet, kids.
Unless it comes from us.
Yes, it came from. Unless it comes from this specific podcast.
We've never said anything factually incorrect or forgotten key information. But yeah,
Most
that
of them.
actor, what's his name? I had it a second ago.
What, John Vernon?
John
John
Verman.
Vernon, yeah.
Vernon,
John Verman.
sorry.
He is great. It's the perfect performance in my head because it's not the most like naturalistic or realistic like performance in the world. It's a man who understands what movie he is in,
Yeah.
and he's doing exactly what he needs to do for that movie, and it's fantastic. Also, Joe, he was the mayor in Dirty Harry.
Yeah, he's had a semi-prolific acting career.
To be fair, a
He was
lot of
Emma.
yelling at cops.
True. He was in Airplane, wasn't he?
I think he's in
Was it
Airplane
Airplane 2? Darn.
Yeah, we won't hold that against him. Oh, he was the dean in Animal House.
Yeah, he's been in a lot. Like,
I like this guy.
and then also Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Yeah.
It is one of those change that casting. This film is not as good. I was so upset
Yeah.
he didn't make it to the end of the movie.
You shouldn't have been surprised though.
Oh no,
No.
They set him
it's a
up for
rule.
death.
It's a rule for these kind of movies. If you suck as a person, you die.
Yeah. And he did. He really, again, he wanted to shoot people on sight for, from what I can tell, no apparent reason.
Well, there was literally that line. I know he says it to one of the clowns, but he doesn't know that they're alien murderers yet. And he's just like, "I'm supposed to read you your rights, but this is my jail. You ain't got no rights.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's like, nope, not quite how that's not how that works. You're
Right.
breaking the law right now.
Great human rights violations. That's cool.
Were there any human rights in the 80s, though?
Yes, funnily enough, there was human
I
rights
think
in
they
the
had the
80s.
concept of human rights. I think the basic ones, at least.
Basic ones.
Shelter,
Gosh.
food.
Hey.
Shelter.
Not being hit with a torch when you're in jail.
Speaking of like dumb characters, can we talk about the Terenzi brothers and how much I hate them?
Oh, we
The
can
best characters.
absolutely-
No, they are. I hate them so much. Like actors, acting wise, great, fantastic. Actual people, I hate them. They're so dumb.
Yeah, if we're gonna
That's
talk
what makes
about,
them great.
they just suck. Like
They
as
suck.
What?
human beings.
They're
Like
they're
in the
idiots,
same
and it's
way.
beautiful.
They're morons, but they're also
Idiots.
vaguely insidiously like sleazy. Sleazy's the word I'm
Yeah.
looking
They were
for.
like, let's rent out they're like, let's rent out an ice cream van and go to the makeout spot and try and sell ice cream to the guys making out. What's not to love about that?
That's a stupid idea. No one's wanting ice cream. To quote the movie, he says, "You don't want ice cream, you're not getting any." And the other guy goes, "Oh, well, we're getting any till you showed up." Like, who wants ice cream when you're getting it on?
But that's the point, though. The characters are idiots, and it's beautiful.
I want to clarify. They also think having the ice cream van will help them get women, which I think that's even stupider than trying to sell ice cream at a makeout point.
Exactly.
Nah, bless
No.
them. They're doing their best. They're doing their best.
No.
Their best is not good enough.
No.
But you know what? They then found out what was going on and tried to help. So
Did they try and
Yeah.
help, or did they just happen to have the van that was being driven?
they try. Yeah.
It
They
was
they are
nothing.
friends with someone who's trying to help.
Exactly.
And they almost died for the cause. No, yeah, they did because they busted in at the end when they were alone with doing the whole like "We are your god, Jojo," and like they almost died. So
Oh no, that's true. They
How,
did that.
right. How did they survive that though? Because the van blew up. It blew up, and they were in it. How did they survive? That makes no sense. Dave, I can understand. Dave, I can. Terenzi, but no. Sorry, no.
They're just there. They're just back. Okay.
very simply, they wanted them to.
It's so. Oh, he
Cloud,
couldn't
I
get
cloud
into the
magic.
freezer with the ice cream. He didn't have time to get into the freezer with the ice cream. You're dead.
It's such a good idea. That's very Indiana Jones got in the fridge like logic.
Yes.
Yeah, we were just in the freezer. Of course, we didn't die when everything blew up.
It, that's the only bit that actually really annoyed. Well, I'll say the only bit. It's one of the bits that annoyed me in the movie. Was just no. There was no way that you had time to, from the time that the truck was thrown, landed, and exploded. There was no way you had time, both of you, to climb into the freezer and hide. There was no way.
I think it's
I believe
definite.
you're detail picking this film.
It's supposed to be sequel bait, right? Like
Yeah.
Well, it is, and they're
it's
getting
literally.
one.
Are they?
The Return of Killer Clowns from Outer
Like,
Space in 3D.
I'm
It has an
aware.
IMDb page.
I'm aware of the existence of the concept of the return of the yada yada.
They've been working on it, but I
and-
think it's a lot of legal and financial issues
yeah,
that they
I
keep
don't
coming
think
up
it's
from
ever
Tasmania.
happening.
No, it's
I
not.
don't know if the game kicks off. It's just gonna.
It's true.
Yeah.
If the game goes, but we haven't seen like there's still not been new Friday the 13th stuff, and that game did well.
That game did do well, and it's coming making a little bit of a comeback.
I'm gonna retract my previous statement because as I was saying it, I remembered we're getting an Evil Dead sequel this year.
Yeah.
which was all because the video game did well. So maybe.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Would you guys in like the 2020s? Would you watch a sequel to this?
Yeah.
Oh,
I,
okay.
I would, but I feel like I don't have a problem with CGI, but I feel like they'll CGI too much of these clowns. They'll make it too modern, if that makes sense.
It needs the animatronic-y prosthetic look that they've got.
It does. Like,
It's a big
there's
part of what makes this film cool.
I feel like that's the charm of the clowns because it's just a human in this suit with like spoilers. Well, not spoilers, but like going meta maybe. It's just like someone in a suit with these animatronic heads that move, and it's so like they're just so cool to look at. And I
Yeah,
feel like in the 2020s they'll make them too like, oh, we're just gonna green screen this guy's face, and you're like, no, don't do
Not
that.
necessarily, no, because you've got, assuming that it'd be the same director who is just a puppeteer, then they stick with
Mm.
the.
Oh yeah, what was the
Absolute. Yeah,
I thought this
Stephen
was the
Chiodo, or however you say the
It's Kyoto.
name. Not a
It's
clue, but
Kyoto.
he's like the
Oh,
vast majority of his credits is just puppeteer or
I did look at
technical
it.
advisor.
He did something cool, and I forgot what it was. But I was like, I should bring that up.
Beastmaster 3,
Not what I was thinking of, but he did do Beastmaster 3.
the
Oh,
Hungover Games,
Team
that masterpiece
America.
of a film.
He did Team America.
in America.
He did the yeah. He was in charge of the puppets in Team America.
So he was.
Was he
Because,
not
yeah,
also? Sorry, Josh, continue.
no, it's good nothing to say.
Sorry, I also thought he had something to do with Ernest Scared Stupid, but I don't think he did.
He did. He was creature effects designer in Ernest Scared Stupid.
He was, yeah. Which also used the clown heads.
Oh, then that's cool.
Yeah, they did. They repurposed them to look like the trolls.
Ah,
Mm.
yeah. He worked on all four Critters movies.
Mm.
Um, which are also they're very similar to this. In terms of ridiculousness, but with incredible visual effects. So yeah, I
Yep.
guess yeah, if there's involvement from the original filmmaker, you're probably getting at least a pushback on the idea of simplifying or CGIing
Yeah,
over things. If they ever actually do make this movie.
I do agree that with the push of this game, we'll probably get people to be like, no, we need the movie ASAP.
It's possibility. Let's hold out on that possibility, please.
At this stage, it's maybe looking more likely than that Gremlins 3 proposal.
True.
Very true.
Which is another film I just want to happen. I want to watch it. But yeah, so those animatronic heads, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're like so detailed
Mm-hmm.
in a way that is so unnecessary. Their ears like twitch.
They do.
That's so creepy. Like and I love it.
They're also cool though.
Yeah, they're so well designed and made and operated. I don't know how animatronics work.
Just well done, I think he'll do.
Well done, yeah.
Well done, yes.
Remember when we talked about Spirited Away and we were joking that because we had an animator on the show, we sounded vaguely smart, and we did that
Yeah,
bit about what it was. This is that, right? This is
but we don't have an animatronic
we don't have someone that knows what they're talking about on the show. It's like, yeah, the robot head thing move, cool.
Percy would like to pitch in at this point.
Percy just told me to shut up.
Percy's like, I have an animatronics person.
Actually, yeah.
I have a degree in animatronics.
To be fair, I've never asked Percy what his day job is, so
It's nothing. He's a wee couch hog. Slacks around doing nothing.
Uh,
Expects the world to come to him. Which it
he's not
does.
even paying rent.
No, it's actually disgraceful.
Josh, you've got tough with your roommate, man.
You're gonna have to have an intervention for Percy. Start paying rent.
How far into a bit about Percy do we have to re-explain to the audience that Percy is a bird?
I didn't think we'd even get. I think we could just go move on. Anyway,
Anyway, oh yeah, the whole so sorry, going back to movie stuff, right? Because we changed an awful lot in that movie. Like things were supposed to happen that they ended up changing. Like the beginning that we got of like Mooney getting a cup of coffee and he had a mug, right? Was that a mug of coffee he has?
I think so.
That he just steals from a restaurant essentially.
I didn't even think about that.
He takes a mug and he just leaves like this coffee place or this like shop with a mug of coffee and gets into his car. I think it's a mug of coffee.
To be fair, that's in keeping with his like whole character.
It is.
Above the law stuff, yeah.
But him like the whole thing of him getting into the car and then driving off and the young guy walking out with his whole like long bags of brand beer, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, because that wasn't supposed to be the beginning of the movie. It was the scene with the guy driving on the mountain edge.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm
I didn't
just
know if
picturing it in my head there.
I was like, I don't know if I've just dropped or what's happened, but it's suddenly very clear.
I think we both spent some time there trying to remember the scene.
The scene where
Yeah.
the guy's driving, the thing where he's driving and the clown comes up, like levitating next to him. That was supposed to be the beginning scene because it has a bit more context behind it. Yeah, I'm
Well,
Robert.
I didn't put much thought into the opening of the movie because I was too busy absolutely jamming to this movie's theme song.
That's another thing. The theme song. The Dickie didn't even read the script. They just saw the title and went, "We can write a song about this."
That was what I guessed happened.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
love that
right.
it takes a whole verse until they seem to remember that they're aliens.
But yeah, so the beginning of the movie, he was supposed to. So the guy, first off, is supposed to be Joe Lombardo, who Mike mentions when they're hiding from the clowns.
Mm-hmm.
He's supposed to be Joe Lombardo. Hence, by in the movie, he's like, "Come on, Joe." But he is on a date with this girl, and eventually kicks her at the car and starts driving away. Like he's a bit of a douchebag. Drives off, and then the clown chases him, and then we kind of like see from that scene onwards. But that was supposed to be the beginning scene for the movie. They went, "Nah, let's change it. Let's make it suck."
Yeah, that'd be an interesting opening. It's a very drops you into the action type.
Yeah,
Interesting.
very interesting. And as well, the car. So it was supposed to, because you know how it like explodes essentially, like it does that weak kind of falls off the cliff and explodes.
Yes.
Yeah, it was actually supposed to fly off, but the cables broke and they didn't have a chance to change them, so the car just weakly falls off the cliff and then does a big epic explosion.
Oh. That checks out.
Yeah. And they were like, "That looks good enough, we'll use that."
In the background while we've been talking, I decided to look into the band that sings Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Yes,
They're called the Dickies.
the Dickies.
Yep. They're still together. They've been
Hey.
around for over 40 years, according to Wikipedia. That's cool. And I learned that I have heard one of their songs before.
Ooh, which one?
They covered the Banana Splits theme.
The what?
You know the Banana Splits?
Nope.
The
I'm just talking about the food.
no,
I
the
don't know.
puppet thing. Are they puppets?
Well, I don't know why when you said that I thought bananas and pajamas.
Bananas and pajamas.
Pajamas.
I know that one.
That's a much more British.
That's,
I mean, it's
isn't it?
Australian, but it actually aired in Britain. Is what I mean. I don't know if it's ever aired here. I think it was made by like the Jim Henson Company. Let me show you a
I
photo.
genuinely I don't know what you're about.
The theme song went da na 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 na. That one.
Oh,
Oh,
that rings a bell. Hang on, get Google up.
I don't think I've ever seen Banana Splits, but I recognize that.
The Banana Splits movie. That's from 2019. That can't be the one you're on
Well,
about.
the Banana Splits movie is I've got it on DVD. We need to do it on the show at some point. It's a slasher film starring the Banana Splits.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh no,
right,
I have
yeah.
seen this. No, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they did a cover of the Banana Splits theme song as well.
Mm.
Which actually really good. It's a good
Was
song.
that for the horror film?
No, they did that in the 80s because they felt like it.
Ah,
They didn't have a rhyme or reason. They just felt like it.
They just kind of did. Josh, this is the band that did the theme to Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Yeah.
true.
Have you seen a music video for it?
Or which one?
The Killer Clowns theme.
I'm gonna look it up now.
It's just them in like a jail, and the clowns are just going about causing chaos.
Grandma, I got the job.
Oh, don't.
I was gonna say, I hope that joke works. Is everyone else saying that ad all the time?
Yeah.
That ad, that's awful.
Oh yeah, I found the video.
Yeah, it's just like
This is very 80s punk.
it's so weird, isn't it?
He's dressed as like a ringmaster.
You
They're
know,
in a
like
jail, but it's clearly not the same one from
yeah,
the movie.
I'm pretty sure they turn into the clowns towards the end of the movie. The music video.
Oh, he's in the candy floss thing at one point.
Yeah,
Great stuff. Good 80s cheese. Love it.
great stuff.
Great stuff.
Also, another clown gag we didn't talk about is the popcorn machine.
Of course, yeah. We've barely talked about the popcorn.
Yeah, the popcorn gun.
I still don't get it.
There's
What?
a theory. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna continue my thought into what does it do?
Well, there's a running theory that the popcorn is essentially what the clowns start out as. Because when they grow into those little, to give some context into the scene, essentially they're shot with popcorn guns. This is for the viewers. And then when Debbie's getting PG-13 naked, because it's the 80s, they
Quick side note: she takes the world's longest shower.
does.
There are several plot points in between her getting in the shower and her getting out the shower.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
was. There was so much. But she gets all ready for the shower, and the popcorn starts to move, which they had been shot with, and for some reason it's now all over her like floor, and has somehow ended up in her mirror, like that cabinet. It's a bit weird. Um, yeah, when she comes out of the shower and she opens up the cabinet, she's like attacked by these little clown faces, which are like they look like Jack in the Boxes. But there was a theory that essentially the clowns start out as that, and then they just grow up to what we see now. I don't know how well that works, but that was a running theory for a while.
Yeah, because I know that the one kind of fan theory as to what's actually on in this movie I have heard is that like very much inspired by like Stephen King's It. They're not like clowns; they're shapeshifters that have like adopted this like image they perceive to be like a cute, wholesome thing that will like humans will perceive as non-threatening, so they can steal them and drink their blood and whatever.
Yeah, like because Mike says that it's like they could be like those astronauts that
Well, yeah,
arrive
he
here.
thinks they're ancient aliens, yeah, and that
Yeah,
humans got confused and made clowns.
Yeah, there's no way that those clowns are shapeshifters purely on the basis of the amount of clown gags there are. Like
Yeah.
they're too used to it. They know what they're doing. The candy floss machine, nah.
Yeah, if they are like shapeshifters who've adopted it, they've also put a lot of research into what clowns do.
Exactly.
But, yeah, it would be that sounds like an awful thing. I don't want to research clowns for that long.
No one does. Not even clowns. I don't think that's a good point though.
Well, there is clown schools, right? You can go to clown school.
Yeah, and that's I'm pretty sure that's just to get people on the FBI watch list for possible serial killers at this point.
Probably, to be quite fair.
Like
I'm trying to name a famous clown in my head. Someone name a famous clown.
John Wayne Gacy.
Okay, I was deliberately trying not to say John Wayne Gacy.
Bro, I know.
Steve-O. Steve-O's a clown.
Who?
Steve-O.
From Jackass?
From Jackass, yeah.
Is he?
Yeah, he went to clown school.
Oh,
He's a
and
professional
look at
clown.
him now.
Oh my god. The most like put together member of society I could think of that was a clown.
Well, you did better than
Rusty.
me. You did
You
better
have
than me. I
Krusty
thought
the Clown.
Krusty the
Like,
Clown.
he's not real.
What?
Not a real man. Do you know he was supposed to be Homer Simpson?
No.
Yeah, they was gonna reveal at the end of like season 3 that Homer had been Krusty the whole time. That's why they look exactly the same. That's one of those facts I'll never have an opportunity to share on the show, so I'm just gonna throw it in now.
Well, the first clown that came to my head was Ronald McDonald. So,
Also not real.
Yeah.
So not a real guy.
Not real. He's real to me.
We need to find an excuse. I really want to find an excuse to talk about McDonald's Land at some point because there's way too much lore.
We just talk about the founder. Done.
I'll get to the founder, I guess.
There's a whole film about McDonald's. For
It's
some reason.
not about McDonald's Land.
Well, yeah, because we never stray from the film. Currently talking about McDonald's, Nathan.
We're doing it right now. In the exact way I was like, it's not like I ever get the opportunity to do this. I guess we're at that point. Anyone and we've gotten into quite a lot more trivia stuff than normal because we have a big fan of the movie with us. Does anyone have any extra trivia and whatever they want to share before we do our wrap up?
I do not. No.
I was gonna say we haven't really talked about the game, but there's not really much to talk about with the game.
Yeah, we don't know a lot yet. Or at least I don't. I don't know a lot about games.
Well, we know that there's is it 5 clowns? Yeah, you play as 5 clowns. It's very much similar to the Friday the 13th thing, as you have I think it's you play 3 clowns with 5 humans, and you've just essentially just got to kill them.
Yeah.
We don't know what we don't know what the end game is.
I'll treat it like I treat most multiplayer games. I'll wait until
Badly?
some of my. I'll wait. Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
I'll play it badly. I'll wait till some of my friends get it, and then if they're like, "It's pretty fun," I'll also get it. You know,
That is fair.
and I'll play it for a couple weeks, and I'll go, "Yeah, it was pretty fun," and then I'll forget I own it.
They
That
all have
sounds like you.
It does sound like Nathan.
I'm being very careful because we last time we talked about video games, I really embarrassed myself, and everyone made fun of me.
Because you know nothing.
I really thought you were supposed to run out of bullets in Resident Evil.
So I don't know if you do or not. Do you?
I run out of bullets a lot in Resident Evil.
No, Resident Evil, you're meant to save your bullets as much as you can because it's not just like any other game where it's like they're lying all over the place. They're a very finite resource.
That's what I meant. Like it deliberately, it forces
It's a
you to
very,
have less. Like I said
it's a
it
very
badly.
particular game mechanic.
Yeah.
Do not use your bullets. Is the point? It's not just like, oh, I've used 50 bullets to reload. Haha, another 50 bullets.
Problem is that game is scary. I want to kill everything.
Oh, the horror game is scary. Oh,
I like
oh,
those games. I
Nathan.
do like those games. Cool. I haven't played. I need to play Village.
Oh, is that the one with the tall vampire lady, as they call her?
Yeah,
Yeah.
big tall lady.
This tall vampire lady.
Yeah, wasn't she in Wednesday? Dang it, said it wrong. Right,
Oh.
can I do a retake on that joke?
Nope. Nope. Now, Nathan, if you do play Village, remember, save your bullet.
Yeah, don't just shoot everything.
The first thing you'll hear from Nathan is he'll go, "So I shot everything."
Yeah, I died. I gave up on the game. I sold it to I don't know, GameStop.
To get back to CEX.
Yeah, when Nathan now can't
That's
think of
the one.
shops, we should start to ask us very specific question. Nathan.
Yeah, what's your favorite video game?
Oh my.
Oh, do you mean is the movie good?
Yeah, funnily enough.
Oh, I thought we were gonna talk about The Last of Us.
I mean, it's a pretty good game. Nope.
It's a good game. Show's coming out pretty soon.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Just do it in the normal order. I'm just gonna power through my own stupidity and do the end of the show. We always ask two questions to end the show to gather our thoughts together, all the nonsense ramblings we've done, figure out what we were actually trying to talk about. First one is we gotta figure out if this movie's any good. Is it a good movie? Is it worth recommending to other people? So I'm gonna ask Josh what he thinks. Josh, is this a good movie?
In my opinion, no, it's terrible, but I love it. This is
So
like if we
which is it?
it's not a good movie. Technically, it's not a good movie. No, like it's so dumb. It's just no. But also, I love it, and I think it's amazing. That's the only way you can answer that question. So to
Let's
answer the
go
question
by.
of would you recommend it
There you go. Yeah.
to a very specific audience? Sure. Like if someone was like, "I love the film Zombie Verse," I'd be like, "You know what? You should watch Killer Clowns from Outer Space." But if someone's like, "Oh, my favorite movies," you know, the Barbie movies. I don't know. I was struggling there. My answer would be, okay, what you should never watch is the film Killer Clowns from Outer Space. You know, like there's an audience for this type of thing.
I'm gonna count you as a yes this week, tentatively.
Yeah, that's fair.
Kieva, is this a good movie? Is this a film you'd recommend to people?
Well, to go with Josh a little bit, I do think it's a good movie in the sense of, how the clown math and just if you just need a good bit of giggle, because there's so much dumb stuff that happens. Like sometimes you just need to laugh. But to kind of follow Josh there, there's definitely like a specific audience that you recommend this to. Like, I wouldn't go to a friend who really likes happy, cheery Disney movies all the time and say, you should watch this movie that I know you won't like for the sake of the premise. I think it's a good movie, yeah.
Nathan, do you think it's a good movie, and would you recommend it to people?
Yeah, I would recommend this. I think this is a good. If you're someone like me, well, first off, I agree with both of you to start with. There's a particular audience. I'm just gonna say a different thing as well. If you're someone like me who watches a lot of films, it's good to have a detox type movie. You know,
Mhm.
like this. I really enjoyed watching this because it was just big and dumb and funny. Because I don't watch a lot of movies that are big and dumb and funny. You
You
know?
don't?
Especially in horror. Like, it's nice to see a horror movie that isn't focused on like being spine tingling and horrific and gory. It's just like no, it's just
It's
clowns
good to
and
see.
they shoot popcorn at people.
Yeah, it's good to see a movie that isn't overly gory just for the sake of it.
Yeah, I think this is. I think there's enough people I would recommend this to count it as a recommendation.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
But you know what, people? That doesn't matter. Who cares if movies are any good? What is this? Who do we think we are? The Weekly Planet? That's not us. what we want to know is if this is a midnight screening. So, Josh,
Yes.
is Killer Clowns from Outer Space a midnight screening?
Yep. It's like I said, keep saying it's dumb. They lean into it. It makes no sense, but it's like also amazing. It's like it's one of the films that should define what can make a midnight screening. You can watch it without having to be worried about following some sort of complicated plot line. You can point at it and just laugh your head off because it is so ridiculously stupid. And you and your friends can just all watch it and realize that the world isn't as bad as you may have thought it was because this film is existing. I love it. Yeah.
Let's pass that over to Kieva. Kieva, is this movie a midnight screening?
Absolutely. Like, it's just a dumb movie that you can just stick on and make fun of and maybe get a little peeked out of those two scenes that we talked about. But no, definitely. Like, you can just stick this on and just, you can even just stick it on and do stuff in the background. Like, there's not a lot that you have to pay attention to. So, definitely a midnight screening for me.
And you guys don't even have to rush to it because Ty's not here. I can sit in a moment and still get the point here. Nathan, do you think Killer Clowns from Outer Space is a midnight screening?
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely, of course it is. It's funny. It's over the top. It's very quotable. We didn't even talk about how quotable this movie is.
So quotable.
People don't say what incarnation enough.
You got to do it as Royal Dano, though. You can't just say it.
Oh yeah, the great Royal Dano. Yeah, I think this is it's a perfect example of a film that will, in most contexts, if you're having like people over to watch films and just kind of have a laugh, it works perfectly. It's yeah. Also, if you've got like horror fan friends or whatever, or got into movies the same way that we did, this is probably also like a VHS or DVD cover you remember seeing at like Blockbuster that you weren't allowed to buy.
Mm.
So that's just fun to get to watch that, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
There you have it. I'm looking at our spreadsheet. It's been very green recently.
Ooh,
Very green.
gotta change that soon.
Yeah, we've been saying things are good movies. We've been saying things are midnight screenings. We've been saying they're both for a long time. 4 weeks.
Such a long time.
I
Could you
keep
not
that
made
in
us watch
mind.
Holmes and Watson?
It's been a while since I made Watch Holmes and Watson. What was the last time we said something was bad? Like as a movie.
Can't remember.
13 Ghosts. You weren't even here.
I wasn't there. What a shame.
Stuz was playing your part. I made that sound like Stuz was doing an impression of you.
Yeah, I'm one of a kind. No one can do that.
Yeah, you're very unique.
Exactly. Thank you. I'm gonna take that as a compliment and not think about it any further.
You do that. It's all that's left to do. You ready for this bit, Josh? I'm gonna try and do an outro.
First time, yeah. It's not gonna take you
After
15
last
minutes.
week, I have no idea. I don't have a plan for this. All that's left to do really is to thank, first off, to thank Josh for showing up again.
You're welcome.
Yeah. I didn't know if you were going to respond or if you should respond. I couldn't figure that out.
I wasn't
Anyway,
sure either, but you paused, so
I did. Also, thank you to Ty for editing. Even when he's not here, he still works on the show, and that's cool. And for Kieva for coming on the show, for doing the research for us.
Yeah. The research.
doing
We
the
know
heavy
what we
lifting
were
this
talking
week,
about.
honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. You know, it's not like I'm at uni or anything at the moment. So it's
Ah,
fucking things to do.
yeah, consider this like a wee break.
Yeah. Yeah, this was a break.
Also, thank you for everyone for listening. That's cool. Thanks for supporting the show in any way you can. Feel free to follow us on Twitter and on our own Instagrams and Spotify and YouTube and etc. And yeah, share and like and all that yada yada. One last thank you though goes to Why don't I ever have the right tabs open?
I don't know, but I don't know who we're thanking. It's a mystery to me.
1 second.
The word
Sure.
try to do an outro is definitely the word I would have continued to use for you at the moment, Nathan. Just going to throw that out there whilst you're looking.
One last thank you has to go to Keisha Hall for making our new logo.
Hey.
Our new artwork, giving our show a bit more branding. That's great. She did a good job. We'll put her Twitter link in the description as well. So you can, if you need any graphic design stuff done.
I must admit, I love the logo. Okay, but see with the silhouette of Josh, it
Mhm.
makes him look like he's a scholar in movies.
No, I'm just the
Yes.
smart one out of the three of us. Doesn't
Like
mean I'm smart.
it
Just
just
means
looks like you've got a degree in midnight screening movies.
No, not quite.
That's all I could think of when I saw it. Just yeah, this is the movie guy.
He is
That's
the
what we're
only
going to
one
go
with a degree.
Yep, Professor of Midnight Screenings. I'll take it.
I think Josh looks like a pirate.
Consider
The pirate. Yeah.
to be fair, I do watch some of the. No, I'm not going to say that joke. Yeah, I watch all these movies legally. Definitely don't have to struggle to find some of these films. Not at all. Yes.
That's the. Did I get everything this time?
Yeah. Now you just. Yeah, you did. You're good.
No, this is. Yeah, the show's done.
Good
The
job.
show's done. You can start recording.
Show's over. Go home.
Great. I'm home. I can finally go pee though.